Hello, are you planning to open a school but wondering how can you decide the fee for your school? Then watch this video in which I will give you 10 strategies which you can use to set up the fees in your school, which most school entrepreneurs are unaware of. My name is Amol Arora. I'm the Managing Director of Shamrock and Shemford Group of Schools. We are a chain of 650 preschools, primary schools and 10 plus 2 schools spread across India, Nepal and Bangladesh. For the past 35 years, we have helped hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs run successful schools, and this video is going to be based on my experience. So before we start, I'd like you to go and click on the subscribe button so that whenever I post some new videos, you are the first to be informed. So click on the bell icon next to the subscribe button as well. So let's get started. What is the first strategy? Now the strategies that I'm going to share is, I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing them, is the problem with schools and with services is you cannot do a cost plus strategy. Now in manufacturing, what happens when somebody's manufacturing something, they say this is my raw material cost, this is my distribution cost, this is my profit margin and this is my sale price. But in schools there is no such thing, because most of your costs are already fixed. Your real estate is already fixed, which is the biggest component of investment. So how do you decide the fees? Because you can't do a cost, these are my fixed costs, variable cost, distribution cost, dealer margin, whatever. So you can add up. In manufacturing it's relatively easier, but in a school it's not, because most of the cost is fixed. So how do you decide that? So let's get right into it. First strategy that I'd like to share is called the economy pricing. What happens with economy pricing is people want to capture the market and they go with a low fee point. So they are able to control the fee, the cost in their schools. If you're good at that, you can enter with a low fee option in your area, which will blow away the market, where parents will get tremendous value for less amount of fees that they're paying. So this is the economy based. The second strategy is called the penetration strategy. Again, in this strategy, what happens is schools enter with the low fee, but once a school picks up, they don't want to be in that area, and after some time they start increasing the fees much faster than their competition. So this is a way to prove themselves, because what happens is education, it's not about word of mouth. But if you don't have children, then how will you get word of mouth? People have to experience your system. So if you're very confident that my school curriculum systems are very good, you can use this strategy and afterwards increase the fees, because parents will be happy to pay, because they know that you're giving them much more. So this is so difference between economy pricing and penetration pricing is, the economy pricing, the pricing stays low. It's a positioning strategy, something like what in retail, for example, DMart does. It's always going to be known for economy pricing. So penetration pricing is an entry strategy, and this is something which a lot of governments sometimes are scared of, when online portals, they try to kill the competition by using this strategy and then later on raise their prices. But schools, this is the way you can do it. The third way is called a discounting strategy. Now in this strategy, what you do is you keep your fees high, and when you want numbers, you want to capture the market, when the parent sits across, you negotiate, and based on what their expectations are, you close the admission. So this is called a discounting strategy, and a lot of schools use this again, like in the penetration strategy, so that they get the numbers, and once they are established, then they can stop these discounts at any point. But the side effect is, what if it doesn't pick up so well? What if your competition is also strong, and then you get known as a bargainer, as somebody who discounts and bargains? It's very hard to shell off that reputation. So that's a choice you make. Fourth is one-time low fees. So the school normally has an admission fee, one-time component, and there is an ongoing charge which the parents pay on a monthly basis. So what they do is, just to attract more admission, they don't lower the monthly fees. They keep it at a good level, a standard level, but they waive off the initial amount, so that this attracts more and more parents, because that initial amount that parents have to pay to join the school, that becomes very reasonable, and it's almost the same as if they were continuing in their old school or they join the new school. So if it's all the same and they're impressed with the new school, they can get a lot of admissions from that. Fifth strategy is called a bundling strategy, where you can bundle two kind of services. So school can have their school, and maybe they can offer an after school program, a coaching program, hobby classes, dance classes, summer camp, something together which creates more value for parents. So if you buy, say, X, and the other product is priced at Y, instead of paying X plus Y for both, you just pay something a little more than X, and you get Y also complimentary with that, or at just a small add-on they can pay. This is called a bundling strategy. Sixth is an offer pricing, which means you make the fee reduced for a particular time, for a limited time as well. So that creates an urgency in the parents. You say right now our fees is this, but for this week, this month, Diwali, Holi, whatever reason you're giving a reason, you gave a real offer. So the advantage of that is you keep your premiumness, but it attracts a lot of people to act now because it is time bound. Seventh strategy people use is called a price matching strategy. I call this price matching because matching what they look at their competition and they price themselves exactly the same as competition, but the new school offers much more. So as a new entrepreneur, you keep your fees as the same as your competitor, but you offer much more to parents, so it becomes a no-brainer. Why will they go to the other school when you are offering the same price, much more value? So this is called price matching strategy, because your competition, their prices are already announced. You are going to decide your fees, so you can decide that based on what they're offering. Another strategy, number 8, is undercutting the competition. See, deciding a price, as I was saying, is like playing cards. Your competition's cards are exposed. They are telling the world, and you can find out very easily what are they offering, what are they charging. So now you know what you're offering, and you can decide how much fees you want. So a lot of schools, what they do is they offer similar or better infrastructure, facilities, curriculum, everything, and they reduce the price so that it becomes a huge value for money. So they undercut the competition to get more numbers. The difference between undercutting competition and economy pricing is, in economy you keep your price low. You're not concerned about what others are doing. You're just keeping it so low it is very affordable. But undercutting, you are actually going after the same market as your competitor, but you are undercutting them. Similar, ninth strategy is quality pricing. What they do is they look at the competition, and instead of undercutting, they put it a little bit above them. Now what this does is, instead of undercutting, they're saying, okay, I'll keep my fees higher than my competition, but slightly higher. What this does is it tells the parents that this is better, because when you price something higher, it tells the customer feels this is a better product. So you price yourself slightly higher, you're giving that premiumness, and of course you offer much more. So parents feel it's obvious, I'm getting better education, better facilities for just 100 rupees or a larger amount. They definitely choose the school as well. The 10th strategy, the final strategy, is called a premium strategy. Now what happens is, every year it's not fair to increase the fees more than inflation rate, because that's how much salaries go up, that's how much cost of living goes up. So normally we always tell our schools not to increase beyond 8 to 10% if that's the inflation rate in your area. So sometimes what happens is, you open in a school in an area where the other schools are not good at all. They're not good in giving good education, good curriculum, good infrastructure. So if you keep your fees based on your competition, you'll also not be able to give better education. You'll not be able to hire better teachers because you're operating at that level. So what some schools do is they keep their fees high at a much higher level than competition, because they know they are going to give quality. The advantage is that afterwards, because what happens is, if you go with the penetration strategy and every year you can increase your fees only by 8 to 10%, it will take you many years to reach that level where you can afford to have good teachers. But they start off high, and of course the risk with that is, generally what will happen with this is, the number of children initially will be very less. So you should have a good amount of working capital if you're going to use this strategy, because it will take time, because people will wonder, why are you charging so much money when there are other schools who are offering similar education at much lower prices. Now if they feel it's similar, your school will not pick up. If they are convinced that you are much better, then obviously your school will pick up. So one is, look at your competition. If you feel there's a gap between what schools are offering and what parents can pay and what they are in a mood to pay as well. So it's a situation where parents have the money, but the current options are priced too low. If you see that's a market and you want to go after this market where parents can afford it and they have the intention to pay as well, so they like to spend on education, because every area in different parts of the country, in South Asia, different areas, their inclination to spend on private education is different. If you feel in your area parents have the money and they have an inclination to pay, then this could be a strategy if you have good working capital. So let me know in the comment section below, what kind of pricing strategy are you going to follow in your school. So if you like this video, please do like it, so it will motivate me to create more and more useful content for school entrepreneurs. Do so, click on the subscribe button, and also remember, I'm doing this webinar on how to open a successful school, and it's absolutely free. I'll give you the step-by-step approach on how you can run a successful school. To register for that, The link details are given below. Register yourself for that and don't miss it. And I will be there live to answer all the queries that you have about opening a school. So if you have any queries about pricing or anything else, then do come for this webinar. I'm going to cover the step-by-step approach on how you can run a successful school. Once again, don't forget to like this video, and I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget also to write in the comments below which strategy do you feel makes the most sense for you. See you next time.